On Thursday, two pieces of news hove into view across the desks of regional media concerning Haverhill. One was of a sex attack on a woman, and the other that the town's neighbourhood community budget project had been so successful the government plans to roll it out nationally and get Haverhill people to go around the country as ambassadors of it. Now, which of those two things do you think would receive the higher priority? And before you have a pop at the media, which of those two things do you think ordinary people across Suffolk or Mid-Anglia would be more likely to believe? In other words, which do they want to believe? As it turns out, the sex attack never happened, but the horse has already bolted. You're very unlikely to see a high-profile story explaining that it was a false report. Newspapers and broadcasters don't generally admit that things were wrong unless they're found to have made a culpable mistake and are forced to make a correction. Otherwise, they just let it lie. As it happens, Haverhill has quite a history of false reports of sex attacks. Very few indeed have turned out to be true, which in one way is good, but also is not only a bad thing for the town, but appalling for the victims of real attacks. If there is a real one in the next few weeks, who among the public is going to believe the poor woman? It's the old tale of the boy who cried wolf. Of course, the police take every report extremely seriously, but for the general public it is easy to dismiss it as just another made-up story. For that reason, it can be the lesser of two evils to just let the story lie rather than explaining that it never happened. Meanwhile, the extraordinary success of One Haverhill's community budgeting project and the way it has catapulted Haverhill into national prominence for all the right reasons is likely to be glossed over and downgraded. This is partly because, as I've explained before, nobody quite understands community budgeting or what One Haverhill is for, yeah? But more seriously, it is because it doesn't fit the profile. The image of Haverhill, which much of the general public outside the town has always wanted to read, is of a place where unpleasant things happen, so they can be thankful they don't live there and make sure they don't have to go there except in exceptional circumstances. Of the two main stories available on Thursday, it is clear which fits the bill. If anyone has any misgivings, it is easy to justify by the clear need for the public to be warned that there is a sex attacker on the loose. If we didn't publicise it and someone else got attacked while walking home alone because they weren't warned, we would be to blame, so runs the justification. The fact that a woman is probably statistically less likely to be attacked in Haverhill than in any other town in the region counts for nothing. Meantime, towns up and down the country will soon be receiving training, education and advice from unsung Haverhill on how to save money and improve services all round by pulling together councils and agencies in partnerships which 5 years ago were unthinkable. It's just an unfair world.